Yeah, I thought it was a good idea because we knew exactly what the grant was. We knew how much we had to spend. We knew how much an hour we had to pay for services, and we could choose the services we wanted. We were able to have the same carers, weren't we, Brian? And that was really good for you because before that we didn't really have that choice. The council were good. They tried to give us the same carers, but I felt they were doing it for me more than Brian to give me some time. But
it was a breakthrough because I find it too difficult to relate to changes and new people.
New people, it is hard because you are on a pretty strict medication schedule, and his needs are quite varied and they change as the day goes on. Sometimes he's quite mobile, and then in an hour's time, as you could see then, he was having a lot of trouble. It's important to have people who get to know what his needs are, also what his interests are, because you've got a lot of interests, haven't you? And you really like new technology. We've got carers now. Actually, he has a male carer who's very good on the technology, and he's interested too. So, I mean, they share a lot of interests. Well, Brian has developed Parkinson's or was diagnosed in 2003. He's had chronic asthma really all his life, and that's been a bit of a problem, but actually this climate here has suited him too because it's a dry climate, not like the humid climate of Queensland. When he was first diagnosed, we wondered whether we should move or do something else, but then we realised there was help around and maybe we could stay in our own home. And it's worked out really well because we have been able to stay in our own home. The package that we've got now is really good, and because this package is Brian's, I think it's given him a new outlook on life, and we realise now we can tailor the package to suit us and to suit Brian specifically, and that's been great, hasn't it, Brian? So we've now feel that he's better off to stay here with 24-hour care. And with this package, we can do that because we can have limited services during the week. We can save up the time, and I can go away for 3 or 4 days, and he has carers coming in here, and that's worked out extremely well.
Level of understanding. Some people you can talk to or talk with, but the carers that I'm involved with now, they come in just like friends straight away. You just carry on talking, and I find that psychologically very satisfying, and I'm not afraid. I know you get very afraid. What's going to happen next?
The carer that comes regularly is very understanding, and he also has been helping Brian with various projects he wants to do, which has been really good. Yes, Brian, with this art show that he wants to have shortly, and it's sort of bringing you out of your shell, isn't it, Brian?
Yes.
So you've felt with the disabilities you've got now that you couldn't go out. We can't go out that much, but people can come here, and yes, we've actually built a little flat downstairs so that our daughter who's in the country can visit. We have them coming here, so that's worked out really well, which is why it's important for us to stay in our own home rather than, say, move into a retirement village, which means we wouldn't have that chance to have friends come and stay. We've found that the consumer-directed care really suits us. The only thing I would say is that it's extremely complicated. I've worked in community health. I've managed a budget. Some people find that difficult, especially if they're not very well. So it has to be simplified, really simplified. I thought I knew my way around community health till I got to aged care. Aged care is very bitty and it needs to be much better streamlined. We felt Brian couldn't go back to the nursing home. I mean, his needs are greater now. And Brian was isolated in a room because he felt that, you know, he has difficulty eating.
Oh, it went from 72 kilograms down to 50 kilograms.
Yes. There are better times when Brian can move around, but it gets hard sometimes, doesn't it? I think it's choice. The choice is there, but some of the services are very costly. The government does fund out-of-home respite care for 2 weeks a year, somewhere around that time, and that's in a nursing home. If that doesn't suit, there isn't a choice. So I think there needs to be a choice of perhaps having that care at home and maybe a shorter time, because, I mean, sometimes if you really plan your trip, having that opportunity to actually go was wonderful, and to know that Brian was cared for here and he knew all his carers and he had everything around him that would help him. That was a big thing. I could relax.
The care they gave me was impeccable.
It was just wonderful. They came out and interviewed us and interviewed Brian about his interests and what he needed here at home, and also what I've been doing here at home with him, so that they could actually do that sort of thing when I was away.